Hi, in this video I'm going to take you through the construction of the inscribe or central angle theorem just to show you a little bit about how this applet version of GeoGebra works. So this is a version that I've posted on GeoGebra Tube. At the top, the only thing really that it's missing is the file command, so you can't save and load your work, which means at the end you're going to have to take screenshots or print out the page so that I can see that you did the work for your homework. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is construct the circle and put the same labels on it as I see on page 36 in the packet. So we have the icon tools up here for doing geometry. I'm going to go to the circle tools. If you click on the little arrow and hold down, you'll get different options for different tools. But we're going to use the first tool that's here, the circle with center through point. So I select that, and then I just click somewhere in the graphics view. This is the graphics view, this is the algebra view over here. I click somewhere in the graphics view to set the center and drag it out to whatever size I want it to be, and then click again to set a point on the circle. Okay. So it gives me the circle, it also gives me the equation over here. So GeoGebra is dynamic, meaning I can select this move tool and move things, and it will update the images as well as the algebra that relates to the images over here. So I can move the center of the circle. You can scroll here as well to see more of the formula. But I can move the center of the circle, and I can move the point on the circle to change the size. Okay. When I add points to the circle to do a construction, I don't want to use this point because it actually changes the size of the circle. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hide that. I'm just going to right click, and where it says show object, click that arrow and hide that. I can also toggle it off and on over here. Okay. So if you look over on page 36 in our packet, I see that I want to add 3 points A, B, and C onto the circle, so I select the point tool. I'm going to right click and rename. I already have a point A, but I'm going to rename this one A. Click OK. It'll rename the one that was A with something else. Let's see, in my center of my circle, I'm going to rename that O for origin. Okay, and I need a point B. I'm going to line them up kind of like they are on page 36. Okay, so there's the points A, B, and C. I can move each one around the circle without moving or resizing the circle. Okay, I'm going to look over in my packet here, and it says create segments AC and AB. So for that, I need to select the segment tools. So there's AC, then you just click on the endpoints of the segments. Click on A and B to make segment AB. Then it says to measure angle CAB. Now I'm going to show you this. GeoGebra measures angles clockwise, or sorry, counterclockwise for positive angles. And if we do that backwards, we're actually going to get the reflex angle. I'm going to do that on purpose just to show you what happens. If I actually click on CAB, it's going to give me the reflex angle, which is not what I want. If you're in the full software, you can right click and change the properties, but the applet won't give me that option. So instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the angle and delete to get rid of it, and just redo it in the other order. I need to click on B, A, C to get the appropriate angle that I want. So now I have an angle, I can drag the points. That actually, moving A, I see, doesn't change the angle. Moving C or B will, and it updates. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the packet to find the next instructions. Okay, and so number 4 says create line segments OC and OB and measure the central angle. So segment tool again, OC, OB, and we're going to measure the angle at O, which is called the central angle. This is the inscribed angle at CB, and this is the central angle for CB. Again, if I do it backwards, I'll do that one more time. If I do COB, it's actually going to do the reflex angle. Okay. So I don't want to do that, so let me delete that one. Instead, I want to do BOC. Click in that order to make it measure. Okay. And then it says to drag the points around and try to figure out a relationship between the two angles. And I'm going to leave that for you to do, but there's how you do the construction. Okay. You can then, there's a number of ways to do a screen capture or to print this out. You should be able in your browser to go somewhere and find a command to print and actually print the whole page would be one way to do it. You always want to make sure certain measurements are showing. This particular one I don't ask for anything like that, but like if I wanted to see the measurements of the angle over here, they're on the screen as well. You could scroll and adjust what's going to show over here. Okay, so that's it. If you have any other questions about these, please don't hesitate to ask me.